Goodbye high creatinine. 3 common fruits seniors must have and 6 you should never touch. It's a confusing world when it comes to health, isn't it? One day a food is praised, the next it's condemned. Yet through all that noise, you make the effort. You choose a banana for its potassium. You switch to fruit juice instead of soda. Each choice is another brick you carefully place, laid with the conviction that you're building a fortress of health for the years to come. But what if some of the very bricks you've been using were Trojan horses? What if the foods you trust to be your protectors are, in fact, quietly opening the gates to kidney damage from within? It's a chilling realization, and it forces you to ask, which part of your own fortress is built on faulty ground? Seniors managing kidney health are not alone in that feeling. This uncertainty is precisely why we're here. So today, we're not just giving you a list. We are drawing a clear line in the sand. On one side, we will identify 6 imposter fruits, seemingly healthy choices that can be problematic for those dealing with high creatinine levels. These fruits are dangerously high in potassium or oxalates, compounds that become increasingly difficult for your compromised kidneys to process safely. On the other, we will arm you with 3 true guardian fruits, specifically chosen for people managing high creatinine. Fruits that can genuinely support your kidney function without overwhelming your system. Before we reveal that line, let us know in the comments. Which fruit do you currently trust the most for your health? Let's drop a comment below. Your insights help build a community where we all learn from each other's experiences. And stay until the end, because the number 1 guardian we'll reveal isn't just the most powerful, it's the one that can empower your body to actively begin the healing process. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. 6 fruits that can worsen high creatinine. 6. Dragon fruit. We begin our countdown with what seems to be the perfect modern health fruit, the exotic dragon fruit. It's praised for being low in potassium, making it feel like a free pass in a restrictive diet. But hidden behind its vibrant skin lies a costly trade-off that can actually contribute to rising creatinine levels, a compound called oxalate. Imagine it as a microscopic dust. When you consume too much, this dust enters the delicate plumbing of your kidneys. There, it meets calcium and crystallizes into millions of tiny razor-sharp needles. These needles don't just create sludge, they can scrape and tear at the fragile kidney tissues, triggering an inflammatory alarm. And the amount is staggering. According to USDA nutritional data and published research, a single 100-gram serving, or just a few spoonfuls, can carry over 97 milligrams of oxalate. For perspective, a therapeutic low oxalate diet sets the daily limit at 50 milligrams. You consume double that limit in a single, seemingly innocent snack. And this is what makes dragon fruit tricky to evaluate for seniors managing creatinine levels. While its low potassium content seems promising, it's easy to overlook the oxalate concern. This highlights an important principle for kidney-friendly eating. When evaluating any food, it's worth checking both potassium and oxalate levels. Many people focus mainly on potassium, but oxalates can be equally important for some individuals. 5. Soursop. The next item on our list isn't just a fruit. For many seniors, it's a symbol of hope in the world of natural health. Soursop. It's sought after not for its taste, but for its rumored healing properties, particularly its whispered anti-cancer promise. But in the desperate search for a natural cure, is it possible to overlook a hidden cost? That hidden cost comes in 2 forms. The first is an immediate, overwhelming burden of potassium. A single cup of soursop pulp can flood your system with 626 milligrams of potassium. For seniors with compromised kidney function and elevated creatinine, this can create a dangerous situation called hyperkalemia, when potassium levels in the blood become too high. High blood potassium levels directly affect your heart's electrical system, potentially causing irregular heartbeats, chest pain, or in severe cases, cardiac arrest. For context, people with kidney concerns are typically advised to limit potassium to 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day total, with individual foods ideally staying under 200 milligrams per serving. At 626 milligrams, just 1 cup of soursop represents nearly 1/3 of an entire day's safe potassium allowance, making it a significant risk factor that requires careful consideration. The second cost is where the tragic irony lies. The fruit contains a unique compound, annonacin. This toxin operates at the cellular level, targeting the tiny power plants inside your cells, the mitochondria, and shutting down their energy supply. And that very mechanism, the ability to starve cells of energy, is the source of its anti-cancer hope. But this mechanism lacks precision and can affect healthy cells too. Some medical studies suggest long-term soursop consumption may be linked to neurological issues, a condition similar to Parkinson's disease. Simply put, the toxin can actively trigger the degeneration of our most precious nerve cells, though more research is needed to fully understand this connection. This presents us with a difficult balance. While soursop contains beneficial nutrients and shows promise in some areas of research, the combination of very high potassium content and potential neurological concerns makes it a fruit that requires extreme caution for anyone with kidney issues. For those working to maintain stable creatinine, the risks may outweigh the potential benefits. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 4. Nectarine. Picture this. You're in the grocery store, faced with 2 fruits that look like identical twins, the peach and the nectarine. They are actually different varieties of the same fruit species. They share the same summery sweetness, the same juicy texture. But this is a classic case of deceptive appearances. Because while they share the same DNA, one of these twins carries a significantly higher potassium risk than the other. Simply put, peaches and nectarines are different varieties of the same fruit, and nectarines naturally contain higher levels of potassium. The difference might seem small, but for kidney health, those extra milligrams matter. A medium nectarine contains about 285 milligrams of potassium compared to a peach's 190 milligrams, pushing it over our 200 milligram safety threshold for those with elevated creatinine. So, if you have kidney concern and need to watch your potassium intake, choose peaches over nectarines. They taste nearly identical but contain 100 milligrams less potassium per fruit. So how do you tell these identical twins apart? The clue isn't in their color or size. It's in the feel. Simply run your thumb over the skin. If it's fuzzy, you're holding a peach. The kidney-safer choice for your summer fruit salad. Limit to half a fruit per serving. If it's perfectly smooth, it's the nectarine. Put it back. That 1-second touch test is the key to solving this supermarket puzzle. 3. Papaya. Next, we turn to what feels like one of the safest allies in our kitchen. The humble papaya. We trust it for its digestive enzymes, a soothing balm for our system. But what happens when that trust is placed in the wrong version of this ally? What if a simple act of preservation transforms this trusted friend into a hidden traitor? The betrayal happens through a simple, powerful process: concentration by dehydration. Imagine a sponge lightly soaked in potassium and sugar. Now, squeeze every drop of water out. The sponge itself shrinks, but the entire load of potassium and sugar remains, now dangerously concentrated. That is the very act of treachery that drying inflicts upon a papaya. And here is the evidence of that betrayal. Even in its fresh, friendly form, half a papaya already pushes the safety limits with a high 390 milligrams of potassium. But the traitorous dried version? Just 100 grams can contain up to 960 milligrams. It is no longer a soothing balm. It is a concentrated potassium weapon that can stress kidneys and elevate creatinine. This makes checking the ingredients on trail mixes and snack bars non-negotiable. For digestive benefits, try fresh ginger or fennel tea instead. Always check ingredient lists on granola bars and tropical fruit mixes. If you choose fresh papaya, limit portions to 1/4 cup. A portion of under 1/2 cup can still be enjoyed occasionally by those with mild kidney concerns. 2. Mango. Next on our list is perhaps the most tempting fruit of all, the nutrient-dense mango. Celebrated as the king of fruits, its sweet tropical flavor feels like a pure, healthy indulgence. But as with all things that seem too good to be true, we may ask, what's the catch? What are the hidden terms and conditions of this sweet deal? And here are the terms, written in fine print. The gift is tempting. Studies show mango can genuinely help improve insulin sensitivity and support healthy blood sugar levels, a real benefit for metabolic health. But the price for that gift is steep when you're managing creatinine. To claim it, your body must accept a massive payment of potassium. For healthy kidneys, that payment can be processed. For those with high creatinine, it can lead to immediate bankruptcy. And just how steep is that price? The numbers on the contract are clear. A single medium mango delivers a payment of over 323 milligrams of potassium. That one transaction single-handedly overwhelms your strict 200 milligram daily budget. It's not a negotiation. It's a crippling deal designed to push your system into the red. And this is the ultimate trap of the king of fruits. Its undeniable benefits mask a fundamentally unfair deal. Therefore, for your long-term health, the business decision is simple. This is a deal to decline. When it comes to a kidney-friendly diet for creatinine control, the contract with the mango should be canceled. Still, for seniors with healthy kidneys, mango's metabolic benefits can still be valuable when eaten in moderation. 1. Jackfruit. We have arrived at our number one culprit, and ironically, it's not an old-fashioned candy or a processed snack. It's the modern darling of the plant-based world, jackfruit. Hailed as the perfect healthy substitute for pulled pork, it has become a symbol of conscious eating. But for someone with high creatinine, it can be a deceptive threat. What makes jackfruit so uniquely dangerous? It combines two threats we've seen individually into one potent package: a dangerously high potassium load combined with a significant payload of kidney stone-forming oxalates. It is a two-front assault on kidney function. The USDA Food Data Central confirms jackfruit packs a potassium load of 739 milligrams per cup, more than 3 times your 200 milligram safety limit when managing high creatinine levels. But that's not the complete picture. Jackfruit also contains very high oxalates at 39 milligrams per 100 grams. For reduced kidney function, processing both elevated potassium and additional oxalates simultaneously constrain your system's filtering capacity. Leave this imposter off your plate if you have kidney concerns. For pulled meat texture in vegan dishes, use shredded king oyster mushrooms or young green banana instead. These give similar satisfying chewiness without the dangerous potassium oxalate combo. Season with BBQ sauce and liquid smoke for that same savory satisfaction in your plant-based meals. It's easy to feel lost in the shadows after a list like that. When foods you thought were safe are suddenly revealed as threats, it can feel like the path to health is shrouded in darkness. But our entire mission here is to turn on the lights, to cut through that darkness with the clear light of science. Because the wonderful truth is this: for every hidden threat, there is a true and tested hero waiting to be seen. So let's step into the light together. And let's meet those heroes now. 3 fruits that can help lower creatinine. 3. Pears. Let's begin our hero countdown with a familiar, comforting face: the humble pear. Its low potassium content rightfully earns it a safe spot on our list. But that's just the surface story. The true superpower of this fruit doesn't just come from what it lacks, but from a protective mechanism that works directly through your heart. How does it do this? It deploys a two-part protective team. First, pear is high in dietary fiber, containing 6 grams per serving with 29% soluble fiber. Its special soluble fibers act like a cleanup crew in your bloodstream, helping to remove excess bad cholesterol. Second, its powerful antioxidants act like a fire department, calming the chronic inflammation that damages blood vessels. And that's critical, because your kidneys are essentially massive bundles of tiny blood vessels. A cleaner, calmer cardiovascular system means more nourishing blood flow to the delicate filters inside your kidneys, helping them thrive. And this heart protective power isn't just a hopeful idea. It's backed by science. In a rigorous clinical trial, adults with metabolic syndrome were asked to eat 2 fresh pears every day. After 12 weeks, researchers saw a significant drop in their pulse pressure, a key indicator of stress on the heart and a powerful predictor of long-term kidney health. The pear's hidden strength was brought to light. So how can you bring this hero into your kitchen? Here's a simple secret from the growers themselves. Check the neck. A pear ripens from the inside out, so the body will still feel firm. Gently press your thumb right near the stem. If it gives just a little, that fruit is perfectly ripe and ready to protect. Store unripe pears at room temperature, then refrigerate once ripe to extend freshness. Eat them with skin on for maximum fiber benefits, but wash thoroughly. 1 medium pear daily provides heart-healthy benefits without potassium worry. 2. Mandarin. Our next hero is a familiar lunchbox staple that seniors often overlook: the humble mandarin. We love it for its bright sweetness. But what if that everyday snack was acting as a master regulator, managing rogue minerals before they can build up and cause damage? Its secret is a natural compound called citrate. Think of citrate as a vigilant bodyguard inside your kidneys. Its mission is to find stray calcium ions and neutralize them, binding to them before they can partner up with another troublemaker: oxalate. This action is crucial for seniors because that unwanted partnership is exactly what forms sharp, painful kidney stones that can worsen creatinine levels. But is there enough of this bodyguard in a humble mandarin to matter? The science gives a resounding yes. Biochemical analysis confirms that citrus fruits are nature's most potent and readily absorbed source of citrate, essentially acting as a natural prescription to keep your internal mineral balance in check. This makes the mandarin an invaluable tool for your health. But every smart operator knows their tool's limitations. While low, mandarins do contain oxalates and moderate amounts of potassium. So for most, they are a superb protective choice. However, if you have a specific history of oxalate stones, knowing this allows you to enjoy them wisely, not fearfully, and in moderation. Stick to 2 to 3 small mandarins daily maximum. Choose fresh over juice to avoid concentrated sugars and potassium. Peel and segment ahead of time for easy snacking, then store in glass containers for up to 3 days. The white pith contains extra citrate, so don't remove it completely. 1. Pineapple. And now we crown our number 1 hero for seniors managing creatinine levels. It's a fruit celebrated for its tropical sweetness and its undisputed safety: the pineapple. Its low potassium content makes it a foundational safe choice, but safety is just the beginning. What elevates pineapple to champion status is its unique power to actively fortify your body's internal defenses. Here's how it strengthens those defenses. Your body is in a constant battle with harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. Think of them as inflammatory bullets. To protect itself, your body deploys molecular shields called sRAGE, which is a soluble receptor for advanced glycation end products. The scientific focus is on a unique enzyme in pineapple, bromelain. The exciting possibility is that it acts as a reinforcement, helping your body to build up this vital shield. And this possibility now has the first glimmer of scientific proof. In a small but promising pilot study involving 10 patients with stage 3 to 4 chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, just 3 days of bromelain supplementation, about 1,500 milligrams daily, led to a significant 18.6% increase in protective sRAGE levels. While this was a brief study with a small sample size, it represents the first direct evidence that bromelain may help strengthen the body's natural defense systems against kidney damage. So, how do seniors best recruit this ally for creatinine support? The key is to choose fresh pineapple. This ensures you get bromelain in its most natural form. But a crucial word of caution: canned and dried versions carry a much higher risk of oxalates. Cut fresh pineapple into portion-sized pieces and freeze in single-serving bags. The core contains the highest bromelain concentration, so blend it into smoothies rather than discarding. Choose golden varieties for peak enzyme content. Goodbye high creatinine. 4 superfoods seniors must have and 5 you should never touch. You are a diligent student of health. You follow the established rules: milk for strong bones, whole grains for fiber, a banana for potassium. Every choice is a conscious effort to build a stronger body, a fortress against the vulnerabilities of aging. But here is the profound paradox of kidney health. The rulebook itself is flawed. For anyone with aging kidneys, some of those golden rules are precisely what can lead to a silent breakdown. The very foods you trust to build your fortress can, in fact, become the Trojan horses that breach its walls. This brings us to a critical question, and we want to hear from you in the comments. Are whole grains always the superior choice? Let us know with a simple yes or no. In this guide, we will unmask 5 of these trusted foods that can betray you and reveal 5 humble heroes that can truly protect you. Stay with us, because the ultimate villain and the undisputed champion may be the 2 most surprising foods on the entire list. 4 food villains you should never touch. 4. Dairy products. For generations, we've been told a glass of milk is the cornerstone of strong bones. It's a comforting, essential part of a healthy diet, especially for seniors. But what if this trusted friend has a hidden, darker side for your kidneys? What if the very thing meant to build you up is contributing to a dangerous creatinine elevation? The core of this paradox isn't the milk itself, but rather what happens when declining kidneys can no longer handle its mineral load. A healthy kidney is a master regulator, but for a struggling one dealing with high creatinine, the rich payload of phosphate and potassium in dairy is a flood. The filters get overwhelmed, leading to a toxic buildup in the bloodstream. And this is where your body starts a biological civil war, all in an attempt to protect itself. High phosphate hijacks your hormonal system, forcing it to steal calcium directly from your bones. This stolen calcium then meets the excess phosphate in your blood. Together, they form solid crystals that embed themselves in your blood vessels and heart valves. The result is a silent process called vascular calcification. It slowly turns your flexible arteries into brittle calcified tubes. This dramatically raises the risk of a catastrophic heart attack or stroke. To put this in perspective, just 1 cup of whole milk contains 222 milligrams of phosphorus. For a patient with chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, who is on a restricted diet of 801,000 milligrams of phosphorus per day, that single glass consumes nearly a quarter of their entire daily allowance. For this reason, clinical guidelines managing high creatinine often recommend a strategic limit, not necessarily total elimination. Some experts suggest no more than half a cup or 120 milliliters of milk per day. But honestly, What's right for you should depend more on your blood work than a fixed number everyone follows. For cheese lovers, softer varieties like cream cheese, brie, or ricotta are safer, lower phosphate options when enjoyed in very small amounts. Ultimately, navigating a diet for kidney disease isn't about villainizing milk. It's about shifting from fear to knowledge, and it's about turning a potential foe back into something you manage with wisdom and control. 3. High potassium fruits and veggies. Coming in at number 3 is an entire category of beloved foods. High potassium fruits and vegetables. There are many to watch, and now we're zeroing in on the two biggest offenders that millions consume daily: potatoes and bananas. They are the heroes of countless nourishing meals. Potatoes, the ultimate comfort food, and bananas, nature's perfect snack. But in the specific world of CKD and elevated creatinine, these heroes can become silent betrayers. Their crime isn't a flaw in the food, but a feature. Their incredible richness in one specific mineral: potassium. One banana has 422 milligrams potassium. One potato has 926 milligrams. For CKD patients limited to 2,000 milligrams daily, just one potato uses nearly half their allowance. Potassium is a double-edged sword. It's absolutely vital for life, regulating everything from our heartbeat to muscle contractions. But when your kidneys are struggling with elevated creatinine, they lose the ability to filter out the excess, especially in advanced CKD. This essential mineral then builds up to dangerous levels in your blood. This condition, called hyperkalemia, is a true medical emergency. In a 2024 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, researchers examined the risk of heart-related events in people with CKD stages 3B or 4. They found that CKD patients with hyperkalemia had a 32% higher risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, heart failure, or death, and a 59% higher risk of arrhythmias in hospital settings. Simply put, too much potassium can short-circuit the heart's delicate electrical system. This can lead to life-threatening arrhythmias, or even cause the heart to stop altogether. And powerhouse sources like potatoes and bananas can quickly push potassium levels into the danger zone. But this does not mean you have to say goodbye to them forever. We're going to share a simple kitchen secret used by renal dietitians. It's a technique called leaching. And centers like DaVita confirm it can remove up to 75% of the potassium. The process is simple. Peel, thinly slice, and soak vegetables like potatoes in warm water for a few hours. This simple prep can safely slash their potassium load, making them safer for those working to manage high creatinine. While this process does require an extra step in the kitchen, it's a small price to pay for a powerful reward: the ability to safely enjoy the foods you love without fear. 2. Whole grains. At number 2, whole grains. Normally healthy, but risky for advanced CKD patients. The first clue, as confirmed by the National Kidney Foundation and Mayo Clinic Health System, lies in their composition. By definition, whole grains retain their nutrient-packed bran and germ. This is where they store a significantly higher amount of phosphorus and potassium compared to refined grains like white bread or white rice. But here is the secret that unlocks the entire mystery: a scientific concept called bioavailability. It's not just what's in the food, it's what your body gets out of it. As medical experts at the Mayo Clinic explain, your body takes in nearly 100% of the phosphate additives found in processed foods. The phosphorus in plants, however, is tightly bound in a compound called phytate. This means only as little as 30 to 50% of it actually makes it into your bloodstream. But even with that lower absorption rate, the math can still be dangerous for those with elevated creatinine. For a patient in the very late stages of CKD, the total mineral load from a diet high in whole grains can become a burden for their kidneys. Here's a quick mineral check. One slice of whole wheat bread has about 69 milligrams of phosphorus, nearly triple what's in white bread, which has just 25 milligrams. And let's be honest, whoever stops at just one slice? While the absorption rate is lower, the total load can still overwhelm struggling kidneys. This is why, as a strategic and often temporary measure, a doctor might advise a patient in this advanced stage to switch to refined grains. It can be a safer, more effective way to control dangerously high mineral levels in the blood. 1. Processed meats. That slice of bacon, that deli meat in your sandwich, that sausage on your breakfast plate. They aren't just convenient foods. They are one of the most aggressive adversaries your kidneys can face. Their danger comes from a two-front war they wage on your body. As countless scientific literature and PMC confirms, these are industrial formulas, not just food. First, they are saturated with extreme levels of sodium. Second, they are often injected with inorganic phosphate additives, a form of phosphorus your body absorbs almost completely. This chemical cocktail delivers a devastating 1-2 punch to those managing high creatinine. The sodium assault sends your blood pressure soaring, putting immense strain on your kidneys' filters. At the exact same time, the inorganic phosphate floods your bloodstream and begins the toxic process of hardening your arteries. Let's be brutally clear. A single serving, about 3 ounces, of ham can pack nearly 1,275 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium and 291 milligrams phosphorus. That single serving can blow past the entire daily safety limit recommended for someone with kidney disease. The only effective defense is a decisive one. Remove these products from your diet. Become a label detective. Hunt for the warning signs. Words like cured, smoked, or anything containing nitrate or FOS. It's tempting to think that just a little won't hurt. But with this level of chemical density, even an occasional indulgence is a shockwave to your system, placing a punishing burden on your kidneys and potentially raising creatinine levels. Removing processed meats is therefore a cornerstone of an effective high creatinine diet. It's one of the most powerful and non-negotiable actions you can take. It's how you halt the chemical assault on your kidneys and protect your very lifeblood. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. Now you may know which kitchen culprits are out to get your kidneys. Clearing those villains from your kitchen is a powerful start, but as with most battles, that's just phase 1. Now it's time to shift from offense to defense. Let's turn our attention from the foods that harm to the true heroes that can help you fight back, rebuild, and naturally lower creatinine. 5 foods that help lower creatinine. 5. Onions and garlics. Kicking off our countdown of kidney health heroes, we begin not with an exotic superfood, but with 2 of the most humble and hardworking staples in your kitchen, garlic and onion. Their first superpower is tackling the single greatest challenge of a kidney-friendly diet, the fear of bland, tasteless food. Garlic and onions are the flavor foundation that allows you to build delicious, satisfying meals without reaching for the salt shaker. Here's why they're perfect for kidney diets. 1 medium onion contains just 146 milligrams potassium and 29 milligrams phosphorus, while 3 cloves of garlic add merely 36 milligrams potassium and 14 milligrams phosphorus. Such negligible amounts that deliver maximum flavor impact. This is what makes a healthy way of eating truly sustainable for those managing elevated creatinine. But defeating blandness is only their first superpower. Their true strength lies hidden within their chemistry. These are medicinal foods with real medical credentials. Onions are loaded with quercetin, a potent antioxidant. A major meta-analysis of multiple clinical trials confirmed that quercetin can significantly lower overall blood pressure. Garlic contains the potent compound allicin. And remarkably, studies published in PMC have shown that allicin can help protect the kidneys. In fact, its effectiveness can rival some prescription medications. The key is to unlock their flavor. Instead of just chopping them, try slowly sautéing onions to release their deep, savory sweetness. Roast whole heads of garlic until they become soft and creamy. Or for a quick burst of flavor, simply rub a raw cut clove of garlic over a slice of toast. 4. Extra virgin olive oil. Moving on to our number 4 hero, we have a staple you probably already have in your kitchen: olive oil. But we're not talking about just any olive oil. We're talking about extra virgin olive oil, or EVOO for short. It's not just a cooking oil, it's a potent liquid medicine, and that extra virgin label makes all the difference. The power of EVOO comes from a dynamic duo. First, you have its foundation, a healthy fat called oleic acid. But its true superpower lies in its rich payload of polyphenols, those highly active anti-inflammatory molecules that are true game changers for your health and creatinine management. These are the very compounds that get stripped away during the refining process that creates lesser oils. And these polyphenols are not just general antioxidants. They are like a team of highly trained bodyguards for your kidneys. They directly combat the two primary forces that drive kidney damage: chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. They work at a cellular level to shield your kidneys from the daily assault that can lead to decline. Clinical trials prove this works. Take a 2022 study from the journal MDPI. After just 9 weeks, CKD patients taking 40 milliliters of high polyphenols EVOO daily saw significant improvements across the board. We're talking better kidney function markers, healthier cholesterol, and less systemic inflammation. Another 2024 study confirmed that in as little as 2 weeks, it could even improve gut health. And that's a new frontier in protecting your kidneys and supporting healthy creatinine levels. But to unlock these benefits, you have to be strategic. Here's the insider's guide. First, choose wisely. Always look for extra virgin in a dark glass bottle to protect those delicate polyphenols. Second, use it correctly. Its medicinal properties are best preserved in low-heat applications, like drizzling over salads or finishing a dish. What makes EVOO kidney safe? Unlike other fats, it's virtually sodium-free and contains 0 potassium or phosphorus per tablespoon. Pure protective power without the mineral burden. Yes, quality EVOO costs more, but consider it a health investment, not a grocery expense. It's a foundational choice for anyone serious about protecting their kidneys. 3. Apples. At number 3, we're not revealing some exotic superfood from a distant land. We're talking about the humble, familiar apple. We've all heard the saying, an apple a day. But what if I told you its true kidney protective genius isn't in the sweet flesh we all love, but in the part we carelessly toss in the trash? The peel. So what is this secret hero hiding in plain sight? It's a special type of soluble fiber called pectin. Now, you might have heard of pectin before, but its specific job for your kidneys and creatinine management is the real headline. Pectin acts like a natural dialysis machine, but for your gut. Fibers like pectin are like a magnet, intercepting dangerous uremic toxins like IS and PCS before they can even be absorbed into your bloodstream. It binds to them, trapping them so your body can safely eliminate them. It's an ingenious strategy that disarms these toxins at the source, potentially helping to reduce creatinine levels naturally. And this isn't just a nice idea. It's a proven biological mechanism confirmed in a major 2025 meta-analysis, which reviewed multiple clinical trials. Plus, a medium apple with peel contains just 195 milligrams potassium and 20 milligrams phosphorus, safely within limits for most CKD patients, while delivering 4.8 grams of that precious fiber. So what does this mean for you? It leads to one of the simplest, most impactful pieces of advice we can give. Wash your apples well and always eat the peel. 2. Fatty fish. Coming in at number 2, we're tackling what might be the most confusing food of all for kidney patients: fish. One day, it's a hero food. The next, it's a villain. The truth, confirmed by scientific reviews, is that fish is both. It contains incredibly beneficial omega-3s, but also the raw materials for a harmful uremic toxin called TMAO. So how do we solve this paradox for creatinine management? The secret lies in separating the treasure from the trouble. And that treasure is a specific type of fat: omega-3s, particularly EPA and DHA. This is what separates omega-3s from almost every other anti-inflammatory. They don't just fight inflammation, they resolve it. Think of it this way. Most anti-inflammatories are just firefighters. They show up and spray water to stop the fire from spreading. But omega-3s are the source of a specialized biological cleanup crew. These molecules, called SPMs, don't just fight the fire. They arrive after the battle to clear the wreckage, rebuild the damage, and restore peace. They actively end the crisis, crucial for protecting kidney function and maintaining healthy creatinine levels. A major meta-analysis found that for dialysis patients, omega-3s were linked to a 55% reduction in cardiovascular mortality. For another group with a specific kidney condition, they were linked to a 70% reduction in the risk of progressing to total kidney failure. So this brings us back to the original mystery. Which fish are the true heroes? The answer is simple. You want fatty, cold water fish that are naturally high in omega-3s and low in mercury. Think of the acronym SMASH: salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. These are your safest and most powerful choices. This strategy also addresses the biggest fear surrounding fish: mercury. By focusing on these smaller fish, as recommended by the FDA, you naturally avoid the ones that accumulate the highest levels of these toxins. So, eat fish intelligently, and you can bypass the risks and give your body direct access to one of nature's most sophisticated protective compounds. 1. Cabbage and cruciferous vegetables. And now, we've arrived at number 1. The undisputed champion of kidney health and creatinine control, the single most powerful food on our list, is one of the most humble and affordable vegetables on the planet: cabbage. Now, its low potassium and phosphorus profile makes cabbage a safe choice. The numbers prove cabbage's champion status. 1 cup of raw cabbage contains only 151 milligrams potassium and 18 milligrams phosphorus, among the lowest of all vegetables. But safety is not what makes it a champion. Its true power lies in a remarkable compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane holds the key to unlocking a critical genetic pathway in your body called NRF2, a pathway crucial for kidney protection and creatinine management. Now, most antioxidants are passive. They sacrifice themselves to neutralize one single threat. But sulforaphane is different. This compound activates the NRF2 pathway, commanding your kidney cells to produce hundreds of protective and detox enzymes. It's like giving your kidneys their own defense army. And this is not a theory. It's a proven fact in human kidney patients. A 2024 clinical trial published on PubMed gave 400 micrograms of sulforaphane to non-dialysis CKD patients for a month. The results were clear. It successfully flipped the NRF2 switch, boosting their genetic defenses. And this wasn't just on paper. The study confirmed this activation led to real, measurable improvements in their blood markers, including sugar, phosphate, and triglyceride levels. So the action plan is as simple as it is powerful. By incorporating cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli into your diet just a few times a week, you're doing more than just eating healthy. You are actively equipping your own kidneys with the pharmacological tools they need to defend, repair, and thrive. That is the power that makes cabbage our number 1 kidney health hero and creatinine fighting champion. Goodbye high creatinine. 4 habits seniors must adopt and 5 you should never practice. You are doing everything right. You drink your water, choose the lean protein, and even take that daily pain reliever, believing you're being responsible. These are the thoughtful choices of someone who truly cares about their health. But what if those very acts of diligence were a trap? The latest science reveals a harsh reality. Some of our most trusted healthy habits are acting as silent saboteurs, working against your kidneys behind the scenes. Before we unmask them, we're curious. Do you believe that over-the-counter pain relievers are completely safe for long-term daily use? Let us know with a simple yes or no in the comments. In this video, we will unmask the 5 hidden culprits behind this betrayal. Then, we'll arm you with the 4 hero habits to fight back. And you'll want to stay with us, because our number 1 hero habit is not only the most powerful, it's also the one you can start with surprising ease today. 5 hidden kidney destroyers you do daily. 5. NSAID painkiller abuse. Coming in at number 5 is the saboteur we asked you about just moments ago, the over-the-counter pain reliever. For that nagging ache, a simple pill like ibuprofen feels like a trusted friend. We trust it because it's always there. But the belief that easy to get means safe to use every day is a serious misconception, especially when mild dehydration turns this trusted friend into a direct threat to your kidneys and a driver of rising creatinine levels. Here's how that friend betrays you. Your kidneys depend on a rich, constant flow of blood to function and filter waste products like creatinine from your bloodstream. To ensure this, your body produces compounds called prostaglandins, which act as gatekeepers, holding the tiny arteries to your kidneys wide open. NSAIDs work by shutting down these gatekeepers. The result is a physiological chokehold, squeezing those arteries tight, starving your kidneys of the blood they need to survive and filter waste. And the fallout is severe. A 2019 study followed more than 92,000 people, comparing those who started using NSAIDs with those who didn't. The main goal was to understand the 30-day risk of acute kidney injury, or AKI for short. The results showed that 0.82% of NSAID users developed AKI compared to 0.59% of non-users, highlighting the importance of being cautious with NSAID use, especially for older adults. In a massive 2017 study, when researchers analyzed data from over 1.6 million people, they uncovered a stark truth. NSAIDs raise the risk of acute kidney injury by 73% in the general population. For seniors, that risk more than doubles to a devastating 151%. But the peril escalates dramatically in a common scenario doctors call the triple whammy. If you combine an NSAID with a common blood pressure pill and a diuretic, your odds of kidney failure multiply by more than 2.5 times. Protecting yourself requires a shift in thinking. It starts by understanding that overuse isn't just about the number of pills, but the number of days. For chronic pain, daily NSAID use without a doctor's guidance is where the real hazard lies. Before reaching for that ibuprofen, try these alternatives first. Apply ice for 15 to 20 minutes, do gentle stretches, or use a heating pad. Keep a pain diary noting triggers and patterns. Consider topical pain creams as safer alternatives for joint pain. 4. Excessive salt intake. At number 4, we confront the most common enemy in our diet. Most of us believe that by removing the salt shaker from our table, we've won the battle. But that shaker is just the tip of the iceberg. The real adversary is the invisible salt, the overwhelming 75% already engineered into our processed and restaurant foods before we even take a bite. This invisible salt wages a two-front war on your kidneys. The first is a brute force hydraulic attack through high blood pressure. But there is a second, far more insidious assault. New science shows high sodium acts like a direct chemical toxin, sparking inflammation and scarring within the kidney cells themselves, entirely independent of its effect on blood pressure. A landmark Cochrane review confirmed it. Slashing salt intake doesn't just help blood pressure. It directly reduces kidney damage, cutting the amount of protein leakage, or albuminuria, by a decisive 36%. That's not just a number on a page. That's the sound of your kidneys beginning to heal and your creatinine levels stabilizing. Your most effective defense is to become a label detective. Get in the habit of reading the sodium line on every package, aiming for under 2,300 milligrams daily. Look for foods with less than 140 milligrams sodium per serving. But please, be aware of a critical trap: salt substitutes. Many replace sodium with potassium. For kidneys that are already struggling, a sudden surge of potassium can be genuinely hazardous. This is a conversation you must have with your doctor. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 3. Excessive alcohol consumption. Number 3 tackles a cherished ritual: the relaxing drink at the end of the day. For decades, that glass of wine may have been a pleasure, but for anyone over 60, a crucial biological shift has occurred. That same single drink that was once a gentle comfort now lands with the force of 2. Placing your body under a level of stress it's no longer equipped to handle. First, as we age, our bodies hold less water, meaning the same amount of alcohol results in a higher, more potent concentration in your system. Second, alcohol is a diuretic, actively forcing water out of your body. This combination puts your kidneys in an impossible bind. They are hit with a more concentrated toxin while simultaneously being deprived of the very water they need to flush out waste products like creatinine. A landmark analysis of over 14 million people in 2023 showed that while heavy drinking increased markers of kidney strain by 9%, those who enjoyed light to moderate drinking actually had a 13% lower risk than non-drinkers. The National Kidney Foundation, NKF, also provides guidance on this issue. They confirm that occasional drinking, like 1 or 2 drinks now and then, usually doesn't harm kidney function. However, their warning is definitive. Excessive drinking, more than 4 drinks a day, can seriously affect your health, especially if you already have kidney disease. This suggests a potential protective sweet spot, but it's a fine line. Crossing into heavy consumption quickly erases the benefit and creates clear harm. The official dietary guidelines are clear. Adults who choose to drink should limit intake to 2 drinks or less per day for men and 1 drink or less per day for women. The guidelines emphasize that drinking less is always better for health than drinking more. A standard drink is a regular beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, or a single shot of spirits. It's best to alternate each alcoholic drink with a full glass of water or sparkling water and lime. If you're drinking to relax, try herbal tea, warm baths, or 10 minutes of deep breathing instead. 2. Consume sugar unknowingly. At number 2, we unmask the Trojan horse of the modern diet. You diligently avoid the obvious sweets, opting for healthy choices like low-fat yogurt or a light salad dressing. But inside these seemingly innocent foods, a hidden payload of sugar is waiting to be unleashed. It's a health paradox where your efforts to be careful are unknowingly turned against you, potentially driving up your creatinine over time. The war this hidden sugar wages goes far beyond your waistline. Chronically high blood sugar creates a toxic internal environment, silently crystallizing and hardening the delicate blood vessels that nourish your kidneys. This isn't an overnight assault. It's a slow, steady corrosion that weakens your vital filters, leading to a gradual and often unnoticed decline. The evidence of this silent assault is written in your blood work. Your HbA1c level isn't just a number for diabetes, it's a direct measure of the long-term strain on your kidneys. Major studies confirm the stakes. In a 2013 study of 2,270 adults from southern Spain, people without diabetes but with high HbA1c levels had a poor kidney profile, similar to those with diabetes. An increase of 1% in HbA1c was linked to a 30 to 40% higher risk of chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short. So, how do you fight back? Read ingredient lists. Sugar hides under 70-plus names like cane syrup and maltodextrin. We put a handy printable list of these names available in the description box for you. Check condiments. Ketchup has 4 grams per tablespoon. BBQ sauce can have 12 grams. Choose plain oatmeal over flavored packets, which contain 3 to 4 teaspoons of added sugar. Read yogurt labels carefully. Some healthy varieties pack more than 20 grams sugar per serving. When grocery shopping, stick to the perimeter where fresh, unprocessed foods live. Keep a glucose meter handy if diabetic, and check levels 2 hours after meals to understand your food's impact. 1. Eat red and processed meat. Finally, we arrive at culprit number 1. This isn't just another food item, it's a cultural icon. For generations, red meat has been celebrated as the cornerstone of a strong diet, the very definition of a high-quality protein. This belief is a core part of the diligence trap, the idea that you are doing something right for your strength. But a profound scientific shift reveals it's not about the amount of protein, but its origin. Imagine your kidneys are a high-performance engine. Animal protein, particularly red meat, is a fuel that runs hot, creating a high volume of acidic exhaust. A diet consistently rich in red meat forces this engine to run permanently in the red zone, leading to progressive wear and tear and accelerating its decline over time. A 2016 study, part of the Singapore Chinese Health Study, followed over 63,000 Chinese adults over 15.5 years. It found 951 cases of end-stage renal disease, or ESRD for short. When comparing total protein intake, people in the higher intake groups had a slightly increased risk of ESRD, but this was not statistically significant. However, red meat intake was strongly linked to a higher risk. The heaviest red meat eaters faced a 40% higher likelihood of ESRD. The solution: simply replacing one serving of red meat with other protein sources reduced the risk of ESRD by up to 62.4%. The good news is that this swap doesn't require a complete diet overhaul. This isn't about deprivation, it's about discovery. It's the discovery of lentil tacos that are just as satisfying as beef, or a hearty bean chili that's even richer than the meat-based version. Try also lentil bolognese, black bean burgers, or chickpea curry. Let's experiment more with plant proteins, hemp seeds in smoothies, quinoa in salads, or nuts as snacks. It's natural to feel concerned after learning about those creatinine-raising culprits. The sobering truth is that these culprits rarely act alone. They conspire together, weaving a web of interconnected habits that systematically undermines your health. Yet within that very web lies the secret to reclaiming your health. The same principle of synergy works in your favor. Just as negative habits reinforce each other, a handful of strategic hero habits can create a powerful, positive cascade, fortifying your body and unraveling the damage that's been done. It's time to build that fortress. Let's begin. 4 kidney-saving heroes to help reduce creatinine. 4. Home cooking. Our countdown of the hero habits begins at number 4, with the place where you can reclaim absolute authority over your health and creatinine management: your own kitchen. Home cooking is not a chore, it is your command center. It stands as the primary line of defense against the invisible salt, disguised sugars, and unhealthy fats engineered into restaurant and processed foods. From this command center, you are in charge. You gain the authority to banish added sugars from your sauces. You seize the power to slash sodium and replace it with flavorful herbs. This is why home cooking isn't just one of the hero habits. It is the master habit that makes all the others possible. In a UK study of over 11,000 adults, those eating home-cooked meals more than 5 times a week were 28% less likely to have an overweight BMI and 24% less likely to have excess body fat. This isn't about becoming a gourmet chef. It's about taking one simple, decisive step to put yourself back in the driver's seat of your creatinine management. The invitation is this: commit to cooking your main meal at home just 3 times this week. Prep ingredients Sunday for the week, wash vegetables, cook grains in batches, freeze portion proteins. Keep basics stocked: olive oil, garlic, onions, herbs, and lemons for quick flavor. Start with simple one-pot meals or sheet pan dinners. Use a slow cooker for set and forget cooking. Gradually, you'll save takeout menus for special occasions only. Make home cooking your default choice. 3. High fiber diet. We praise fiber for keeping our digestion on track, but its most vital mission happens out of sight. The front line of kidney defense isn't just in the kidneys themselves. It's a strategic barrier located deep within your gut, and fiber is its essential ammunition. This barrier is your gut lining, guarded by trillions of beneficial bacteria. Fiber is the precise nourishment that keeps these guardians vigilant and strong. Without enough of this fuel, the border becomes porous. Harmful toxins can then escape the gut and flood your bloodstream, creating a constant toxic burden that your kidneys are forced to endure. In a meta-analysis of 10 studies with 292 CKD patients, taking dietary fiber supplementation was shown to help reduce the levels of several uremic toxins, those harmful substances that build up in the blood when the kidneys aren't functioning properly. For example, indoxyl sulfate levels were reduced by 45%, p-cresyl sulfate by 39%, blood urea nitrogen by 29%, and uric acid, the component of uric acid kidney stones, by 47%. Another 2024 study reinforced this protective power even more dramatically. Researchers followed 3,892 patients with kidney disease for over 10 years and discovered something alarming. The average patient consumed only 5.1 grams of fiber daily, far below recommended levels. But here's the remarkable finding. Those in the highest fiber intake group had a 37% lower risk of death from any cause compared to those eating the least fiber. The best way to deploy this creatinine-lowering hero is at breakfast. Swapping a sugary cereal for oatmeal with berries is a simple, game-changing move. Snack on apples with skin, carrots with hummus, or air-popped popcorn. Keep frozen vegetables handy for quick fiber boosts in any meal. Aim for 25 to 35 grams daily total. But remember to add fiber gradually. Increase by 5 grams weekly to avoid digestive upset. Now, about the valid concern of potassium in high-fiber foods. This is typically only an issue for those with advanced kidney disease. This is a crucial conversation to have with your doctor or dietitian, who can help you build a high-fiber plan that is both effective and perfectly safe for your creatinine management. 2. Adequate hydration. Hero number 2 is the most fundamental of all, yet its true purpose is a masterclass in biology. For most of our lives, we rely on a built-in alarm system for hydration: thirst. But as we age, that alarm system can become dangerously quiet. By the time it finally goes off, you're often already running on low, in a state of mild dehydration for quite a long time. This is so critical because proper hydration is more than just quenching thirst. It's a way to actively manage a key hormone. When your body is low on water, it releases a stress hormone called vasopressin. This hormone puts your kidneys into a state of constant, damaging overdrive. But every glass of water you drink acts as an off switch, telling this harmful hormone to stand down. Also, dehydration makes your blood thick and concentrated with waste products, forcing your kidneys to work harder. Proper hydration thins your blood, making it easier for your kidneys to filter out toxins like creatinine. So every glass of water literally makes their job easier. Your most direct action is to make hydration proactive, not reactive. Begin with a simple morning ritual: a large glass of water to reset your system after a long night and help flush out accumulated creatinine. Keep a marked water bottle showing hourly goals. Finish by specific times. Monitor urine color. Pale yellow indicates good hydration. For seniors, sip regularly rather than chugging large amounts at once. However, it's vital to remember that while hydration is a hero for most, it requires careful guidance for some. If you have advanced kidney or heart conditions, your fluid needs are unique. The goal is not always more water. It's smart hydration, a plan you must create with your doctor. 1. Move more. Our number one hero habit for lowering creatinine is the one we think we understand best, but its true value is often underestimated. Even if you get a dedicated walk or workout each day, which is excellent, a modern paradox can neutralize your efforts. The hard truth is that 30 minutes of activity can be undermined by 23 hours of inactivity. A meta-analysis of 10 studies found that excessive sedentary behavior increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, the leading cause of CKD, by a staggering 112%. The real magic of movement lies not in burning calories, but in the comprehensive defense system it builds around your kidneys. It normalizes blood pressure, lower blood sugar, controls weight, boosts circulation, reduces inflammation, strengthens heart health, eliminates toxins, fights oxidative stress, improves sleep quality, lowers stress hormones. These protective layers work together, directly addressing the major metabolic culprits behind kidney disease and elevated creatinine, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and chronic inflammation. Those very conditions responsible for 80% of kidney failure cases. In a 2023 study examining data from 12 studies with 1.28 million people, they found that the most physically active individuals had a 9% lower risk of CKD compared to the least active. If you're just starting out, the goal isn't the marathon. It's the first step. The invitation is simply to begin with a 10-minute walk, just a few times a week. Also, take stairs instead of elevators when possible. Try exercise snacks, 2 to 3 minutes of movement every hour during TV time. Use resistance bands while watching shows. Remember, consistency beats intensity. Daily gentle activity trumps occasional intense workouts. Goodbye high creatinine. 5 salad ingredients seniors must have, and 5 you should never touch. Think about that beautiful salad you're making, loaded with fresh spinach, ripe tomatoes, and maybe a handful of nuts. It feels like the definition of a kidney-healthy choice. But what if that plate of health is actually a hidden minefield? What if it's secretly packed with potassium and oxalates that could be pushing your creatinine to dangerous levels? That question is why you need to watch this entire video. Because the number one salad villain is disguised as a health food almost everyone trusts. And the number one salad hero is an ingredient so simple it's likely already in your kitchen, ready to change everything. Before we dive in, here's a question for you. What's the one salad ingredient you add to almost every bowl? The one green, protein, or topping you consider absolutely essential for the perfect salad? Drop your answer in the comments below, but hurry. We're only responding to comments in the first 24 hours after upload. Every single one gets a personal reply. The 5 salad villain countdown. 5. Spinach. Spinach seems like the cornerstone of a healthy salad, a powerhouse of vitamins we've all been told to eat more of. We see it as pure green goodness. Yet, for seniors with kidney concerns, that halo of health can hide a hidden conflict, especially when it's enjoyed raw. The issue isn't in the spinach itself, but in 2 hidden agents within its leaves. The first are compounds called oxalates, which can form microscopic, sharp-edged crystals inside your body. Those oxalate crystals can contribute to the formation of painful kidney stones that create a physical strain on your delicate kidney tissue. The second agent is a significant payload of potassium, which can create a sudden flood that compromised kidneys are simply not prepared to handle. It's a silent threat to your heart, with the potential to trigger dangerous arrhythmias or disorders of the heart's rhythm. This isn't just speculation. The numbers tell the story. The National Kidney Foundation explicitly warns about spinach for its high oxalate content. The potassium numbers are what truly reveal the hidden danger of concentration. Data from the University of Rochester Medical Center, URMC, shows that while a cup of raw spinach has a manageable 167 milligrams of potassium, cooking it down concentrates that load to a staggering 839 milligrams. That's a five-fold increase, turning a simple side dish into a potassium overload that can drive your creatinine levels higher. Fortunately, there is a crucial piece of kitchen wisdom that can neutralize much of the risk. According to a study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, one simple action can slash the soluble oxalate content by a dramatic 30 to 87%. All you have to do is boil your spinach for a few minutes and then discard the cooking water. Or better yet, swap to arugula or butter lettuce for that fresh green crunch without the kidney risk. This does raise a valid concern. What about the vitamins? It's a fair question. You may lose a small amount of water-soluble vitamins in the process. However, when weighing that against the major risk of developing kidney stones, the safer choice becomes clear. 4. Deli meat. That package of deli ham or turkey in the refrigerator. It seems like a comforting, convenient solution for a quick sandwich or to add some protein to your salad. For seniors over 60 concerned about their kidney health, however, it might be one of the most deceptive foods in your kitchen. It creates a three-pronged challenge for your kidneys. First, there's the massive sodium load. As confirmed by AHA and KDIGO guidelines, this can send your blood pressure soaring, which can accelerate the decline of your kidneys and elevate creatinine. Second, the hidden phosphorus. Deli meats are often injected with inorganic phosphate additives that your body absorbs at a rate of nearly 100%. These additives can turn flexible blood vessels into brittle pipes, including those vessels to your kidneys. And third, the industrial processing. The high heat preparation creates a storm of inflammatory compounds called AGEs, which can damage your kidneys over time. As kidney function declines, your body loses its ability to properly balance calcium and phosphorus, leading to calcium being pulled from your bones to restore balance. The verdict on this is final. In 2015, the World Health Organization delivered a landmark judgment, classifying processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, the exact same danger category as tobacco and asbestos. Their global analysis concluded that every 50-gram portion, just 2 thin slices of deli meat, eaten daily, increases the risk of colorectal cancer by a staggering 18%. So for deli meat, this isn't about moderation, it's about elimination. The smartest, safest action is to remove processed deli meats from your plate and replace them with fresh, unprocessed protein sources like cooked, unseasoned chicken breast or chickpeas you've prepared yourself. Slice it thin and store in the fridge for quick salad protein. For that smoky flavor, try a pinch of smoked paprika instead of actual processed meats. While the low-sodium versions of deli meat may seem tempting, they often still contain those highly absorbable phosphate additives and inflammatory AGEs, waiting to do their damage. 3. Avocado. Avocado. It's the darling of the health world, creamy, delicious, and packed with healthy fats. We put it on toast, in smoothies, and of course in our salads, confident that we're making one of the best possible choices for our bodies. What if, for seniors with kidney concerns, this celebrated hero had a hidden downside? The story we all know is about avocado's heart-healthy fats. That, however, is only half the truth. The other half, the story that often goes untold, is about potassium. A healthy kidney can easily filter out excess potassium, but a compromised kidney can't keep up. For these individuals, an avocado isn't a gentle source of nutrients. It's a hidden source of high potassium that can worsen kidney function and creatinine levels. When this potassium overload hits the system, it can trigger a medical emergency called hyperkalemia. This condition can short-circuit the body's electrical system, making muscles feel weak, and in the most frightening cases, throwing the heart's rhythm into a dangerous, chaotic state. Let's look at exactly what's inside. Nutrition data highlighted by the National Kidney Foundation shows that a single medium avocado can contain around 690 milligrams of potassium. Even a small serving, just 1/3 of the fruit, packs 250 milligrams. To put that in perspective, many kidney patients are advised to keep their potassium from a single food item under 200 milligrams. That small, healthy snack just broke the safety limit. The rule here is all about context. For anyone with late-stage CKD on dialysis or with a known history of high potassium, avocado is a risk that should be avoided. For those in earlier stages with normal potassium levels, a small amount might be okay, but only after a direct conversation with your doctor or renal dietitian. Or try this brilliant substitute. Mashed steamed cauliflower with a drizzle of olive oil gives you that same creamy texture without the potassium bomb. Remember, the long-term benefit of healthy fats from avocados does not outweigh the short-term acute risk of a cardiac event triggered by a potassium surge. You don't polish the silver when the house is on fire. 2. Potato. That classic creamy potato salad. It's the undisputed star of countless picnics and family gatherings, a comforting taste of tradition on our salads. For seniors with kidney concerns, however, that comforting dish presents a significant nutritional challenge that can spike creatinine. This isn't an exaggeration, as it poses a risk on two separate fronts. First, there's the high potassium load. A potato isn't just a vegetable, it's a concentrated source of potassium, with USDA data showing a single medium potato contains over 900 milligrams. Second is the glycemic spike. Once boiled and mashed, that potato unleashes a rush of sugar into your bloodstream, creating a sharp rise in blood sugar, a primary driver of kidney damage. On this topic, there is no debate. The consensus from every major kidney health authority, from the National Kidney Foundation to the AAKP, is clear. For those with vulnerable kidneys, the potato poses an undeniable risk. That's why in a 2020 study published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition, scientists tried to find better ways of cooking to reduce potassium in potatoes. They found that soaking after normal cooking removed up to 70% of potassium, bringing it below 130 milligrams per 100 grams. While this technique can leach out a great amount of the potassium, it's a lot of work and, more importantly, does nothing to neutralize the glycemic impact. The truly effective solution? Make faux tato salad using steamed mashed cauliflower instead of potatoes. Season with kidney-friendly herbs, a touch of olive oil vinaigrette, and chopped celery for crunch. You get the same creamy texture and satisfaction with none of the risks. 1. Bacon bits. The most dangerous item on our list isn't a big, greasy steak or a rich, creamy cheese. It's those small, innocent-looking, crunchy bits sprinkled on top for flavor. Bacon bits. Their small size is precisely what makes them so dangerous. During industrial processing, these pieces are stripped of moisture and become tiny, hardened sponges for the very things we've been discussing. They become saturated with sodium, packing an astronomical approximately 1,700 milligrams per 100 grams. They are filled with those same inorganic phosphate additives that are absorbed at nearly 100%. And the intense frying that makes them crispy maximizes the creation of inflammatory AGEs. This concentration of harmful compounds leads to a concentrated impact inside your body. Every sprinkle isn't just a garnish. It's a dose of agents actively working to harden your arteries, weaken your bones, and push your kidneys closer to the edge, driving creatinine higher and higher. The verdict from the medical community is final and non-negotiable. KDIGO clinical guidelines issue stark warnings against processed meats for their extreme load of sodium and dangerous phosphate additives. It may sound reasonable to think of it as just a garnish. But when it comes to bacon bits, there is no such thing as just a little. It is a food to eliminate from your diet completely. Here's a crunchy alternative. Toast some chopped walnuts in a dry pan with garlic powder and smoked paprika for that satisfying crunch and smoky flavor. Or try roasted chickpeas seasoned with herbs. They'll give you protein and fiber instead of sodium and phosphate overload. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. Okay, let's take a breath. The point of this isn't to leave you with a list of foods to fear. Absolutely not. The real goal is to replace that fear with the confidence that comes from true understanding. The confidence to make smart, powerful, and even delicious choices. Because for every villain we've unmasked, there is a hero waiting to help you fight back. Now that we understand the battlefield, it's time to open the armory and equip you with the 5 salad heroes that will defend your kidneys and help you rebuild your health. The 5 salad hero countdown. 5. Onion and garlic. We often search for health solutions in exotic berries or expensive powders. Yet our first hero isn't something you need to order online. It's been sitting quietly in your kitchen pantry all along. Onions and garlic. Don't let their familiarity fool you. Onions and garlic act as effective double agents for your health. Their first, most obvious mission is to provide a brilliant flavor substitute for salt, reducing your sodium load. Their second secret mission is medicinal. They are packed with bioactive compounds like allicin and quercetin that work silently inside your body to fight inflammation and protect your cells. This isn't just folk wisdom, it's backed by clinical proof. A 2016 meta-analysis of 7 trials with 587 patients, published in a Journal of the American Heart Association, AHA, confirmed that quercetin, the one you can get from onions, delivered a significant drop in blood pressure. Lower blood pressure means better kidney function and stable creatinine levels. The results were impressive. Those using quercetin with dosages of greater than 500 milligrams per day saw their blood pressure dropped by over 3 points on average. To put that in perspective, that's the same benefit you might get from a 10-minute daily walk. To maximize this benefit, gently toast some minced garlic in a little olive oil to awaken its flavor for dressings. Thinly sliced red onion provides a sweet, sharp crunch to salads. For garlic, make a killer dressing by whisking minced fresh garlic with lemon juice and olive oil. Let it sit for 5 minutes to develop flavor. This combo transforms any boring lettuce into a restaurant-quality, kidney-protecting masterpiece. And remember that pure onion and garlic powders are fantastic salt-free ways to season your proteins. Just be sure not to confuse them with garlic salt and onion salt, which are loaded with sodium. 4. Chicken breast. For seniors with kidney concerns, protein can feel like a paradox. On one hand, your doctor says to limit protein to protect your kidneys. On the other, geriatric specialists say you need more protein to fight muscle loss. It's a confusing dilemma. Thankfully, there is a balanced answer, a middle path that starts with a familiar friend. Properly prepared, portion-controlled chicken breast. It performs 2 critical jobs simultaneously. The first is to protect your muscles by delivering the high-quality essential amino acids your body needs to fight age-related muscle wasting. The second is to protect your kidneys. Unlike red meat, the protein in chicken creates a significantly lower acid load for them to handle, easing their burden and helping maintain stable creatinine. Both the KDOQI and KDIGO clinical guidelines recommend a controlled intake of high-quality protein, often around 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight for many non-dialysis patients. To turn chicken into a true hero, however, 2 non-negotiable rules must be followed. Portion is king. A safe serving is just 2 to 3 ounces, cooked. For a visual, that's a piece no bigger than a deck of cards. Cooking methods also matter. Stick to gentle methods like poaching, steaming, or light stir-frying, and avoid harsh, high-heat methods that create inflammatory AGEs. One final, crucial warning. At the supermarket, beware of any chicken breast labeled enhanced or containing solution. This is an industry secret where salt water and phosphate additives are injected into the meat, turning a hero into a hidden villain. Always read the fine print. 3. Cabbage. Our next hero isn't flashy or exotic. It's the humble, affordable, and incredibly dependable cornerstone of a smart kidney diet: simple cabbage. Cabbage protects your kidneys with a powerful two-layer defense. The first layer is its mineral profile, a dream for kidney patients, with just 18 milligrams of sodium, 170 milligrams of potassium, and a mere 26 milligrams of phosphorus per 100 grams. It asks for almost nothing from your kidneys. The second, hidden layer of defense is its richness in a compound called sulforaphane, which activates your body's own internal defense system, helping your cells fight off oxidative stress. A 2023 review examines the effects of sulforaphane on kidney function in preclinical models of kidney diseases. After reviewing 25 studies, sulforaphane significantly improved kidney function. It increased creatinine clearance, reduced blood creatinine and urea levels, decreased urinary protein excretion, and lowered kidney injury biomarkers. Another separate massive meta-analysis of over 1.2 million people linked a higher intake of cruciferous vegetables like cabbage to a significantly lower risk of kidney cancer. This means you have the freedom to fill your bowl, to enjoy a satisfying, crunchy salad without the constant anxiety of counting every milligram. Thinly shredded green or red cabbage makes a fantastic base for any salad. The sturdy cabbage won't get soggy, making it perfect for meal prep. You can even create a delicious creamy coleslaw by simply swapping the heavy mayonnaise for a kidney-friendly vinaigrette. All the flavor, without the risk. A very important note, however, for anyone taking blood thinners like warfarin. Cabbage is high in vitamin K. This doesn't mean you must avoid it, but it does mean moderation is key. The goal is to eat a relatively consistent amount each week, and most importantly, always keep your doctor informed about your diet so they can manage your medication effectively. 2. Chickpeas. For years, anyone with kidney concerns has likely heard the same strict rule. Stay away from beans. They were put on the forbidden list. What if that old rule was based on an incomplete truth? The old myth is busted by a concept called bioavailability. The phosphorus in chickpeas is bound up in a natural compound called phytates. Our bodies lack the enzyme to break this down, meaning we only absorb about 20 to 50% of the phosphorus listed on the label. On top of that, chickpeas possess a second superpower. Their high fiber content is a feast for your good gut bacteria, supporting the crucial gut-kidney axis. This understanding is a liberating discovery. It's the freedom to enjoy a hearty, filling addition to your salad without the fear of phosphorus overload that could drive creatinine higher. The National Kidney Foundation has given the green light, stating that beans are a superfood and that most kidney patients not on dialysis do not need to limit their intake of foods like beans. To officially turn canned chickpeas from a forbidden food into a kidney-friendly hero, however, there is one non-negotiable golden rule. You must rinse them thoroughly. The canning liquid is where much of the sodium hides, and research from the USDA ARS is clear on this point. A simple 1-minute rinse under the tap can wash away up to 41% of that added sodium. Flavor upgrade. After rinsing, pat chickpeas completely dry and toss with a pinch of cumin and paprika. 1. Vinaigrette. After all we've learned, you might expect a rare herb from a distant mountain or an exotic superfruit. The most powerful protector for your kidneys, however, isn't an ingredient you put in your salad. It's the very soul of the salad itself, a homemade vinaigrette with an extra virgin olive oil base. Its power comes from a simple exchange. It removes the bad and adds the good. By making it yourself, you eliminate the threat of hidden sodium and phosphate additives from commercial dressings. At the exact same time, you infuse your salad with a cascade of potent anti-inflammatory compounds from the extra virgin olive oil. With this one change, your salad is transformed. It moves beyond a simple bowl of vegetables to become a therapeutic meal, actively working to calm inflammation and protect your cardiovascular system, your kidney's closest ally. It's been tested in randomized clinical trials directly on CKD patients. One 9-week study, where patients consumed 40 milliliters of high polyphenol EVOO daily, found significant improvements in their lipid profiles, including a rise in good HDL cholesterol alongside a measurable drop in inflammation. Making it is ridiculously simple. The golden ratio chefs use is 3 parts extra virgin olive oil to 1 part acid, like fresh lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Whisk them together, and you're done. For the best results, you can make a larger batch for the week. Just combine the ingredients in a glass jar, add your favorite salt-free herbs, and shake vigorously before each use. Always add dressing just before serving to maintain optimal texture. It takes less than 60 seconds of your time. A small effort for a powerful investment in your long-term health. Conclusion. So, our journey through the salad bowl comes to an end. We've unmasked the salads that can silently work against your health, and we've armed you with the heroes that can help rebuild it. Note that this video does not constitute medical advice. Any change in your diet should be part of an overall healthy lifestyle under medical supervision, especially for seniors with kidney concerns. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, especially if you have kidney disease, elevated creatinine, are taking medications, or have other health conditions. The ultimate lesson here isn't just a list of foods to avoid or embrace. It's the understanding that what you choose to put on your plate is the single most significant decision you make for your health each day. But this conversation doesn't have to end here. We truly want to hear from you. Which salad on our list, either a villain or a hero, surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one and value the wisdom of this community. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy, but is worth more than anything else. Hit the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss a life-saving video. Stay informed, stay healthy.